I'm gonna go meet a friend for coffee, and I thought that I'm just going to show you how I normally conceal my under eye. Now, I do believe that concealer has got to be the one thing that you need in your makeup kit. Now, I do not have any concealer on right now, and it's not really helping. As you can see, I've got eye bags. It's slightly darker underneath my eye area as well. And the thing with concealer is that once you find the right product, and more importantly, once you know how to apply it, the technique in applying your concealer, it can literally make you look years younger. And if it's one thing that I think any girl needs in her makeup kit, it's got to be the concealer, because it just makes you look so much better without, you don't even need foundation, powder, just concealer, a little bit of powder to set, and you're good to go. So I'm going to show you how I normally do my concealing. It takes very little time, not too many products, just 3. So the key thing that I think a lot of us do not do, the one step before concealing that I think a lot of us don't do, and that's why we don't get the result that we want, which is that super nice, smooth, clear under eye, and not having bags, not having like a grayness underneath the eye, not completely covering the dark areas. Like a lot of my clients come up to me and tell me that, you know, I do concealing, but I still feel like the under eye is not like completely, the darkness is not completely covered. It sort of leaves grayish undertone, or it's got a grayish undertone. It's not, you know, like, it doesn't look fresh, it doesn't brighten up my under eye area, and that's because we are not using corrector. So corrector is a pink salmony sort of a shade that you have to apply before the concealer. Now, why do we need to do this? Because concealers most of the time have a yellow, orangish, like mostly yellowish, right, undertone. Now, this shade, when you apply it over the dark areas under the eye, it does not cancel out the darkness. So what it does is you're just applying product over the eye, and that sort of helps, you know, achieve the tone that you're going for, which is close to your skin tone. But the problem is you're not getting rid of the darkness before you apply your shade of concealer. So that is why you don't necessarily get the brightness that you're looking for underneath the eye. So applying the corrector before helps this problem, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So it's super easy. Now, there are a lot of correctors out in the market. Just make sure that you get something that's got a very light, not too thick of a consistency, because when it's too thick and you apply that and then you apply the concealer over it and then you apply the powder over it, what happens is, because our under eye areas, like the area, it's so delicate, and you don't want to apply you don't want to keep layering product one over the other, and that's what makes it look cakey. That's what makes it end up creasing after like a couple of hours, and we don't want that. So just make sure that it's got good consistency. It's not too thick. If it's like a cream concealer, make sure that it's not too thick. That's why I tend to prefer to use concealers or correctors which have a more of a liquidy texture, right? So I'm going to use today the MAC Prep and Prime brightening corrector. So this is perfect because it already comes in like a brush felt tip applicator. So I'm just gonna put this underneath my eye. I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do like one eye so that you guys can see the difference clearly, right? So I'm just gonna remove that right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put this all over here and use my best friend beauty blender and just sort of push in the product. I'm gonna apply a bit more, just especially like where you see the under eye bag. You just want to like go over that area a bit more. Okay, so as you can see, it's already sort of lifted. It sort of gives like a lifted effect, and this side you can see that you can still see my bags, my eyes look tired, and this side I look like I'm ready to party. Well, not really, but we'll get there. So now once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead with my concealer. So the concealer that I'm using today is by Huda Beauty, the overnight I seriously need a night out, the Overachiever concealer, right? So I'm just gonna drop like a bit. As you know, concealer you need to apply in like an inverted triangle and not just under the eye. So you got to make like an inverted triangle and cover this whole area, right? A lot of times what we do is we just apply it here, and that's not the right way to do it, and that's what sort of gives us like a panda eye effect. And you want to brighten up and highlight this whole area and give you the illusion of like big eyes, you know, high cheekbones and the whole sculpted look. And I'm gonna go again with my beauty blender and blend out. Now you can also use your fingers, especially like the area closer to your eye. I just like to do that because I feel like it helps distribute the product more evenly, and the warmth from the finger also helps prevent creases because it helps, you know, the product sort of get into the areas that might crease later on. I'm just going to go over my nose because it looks kind of red, not too sure why, but yeah. Okay, so now just the key is to make sure that you blend it out, and you want to make sure that you don't have like this whole area of like a patch of concealer, right? So you want to blend it out nicely. Bring it up, you know, just okay. Now I've kind of gone over my blusher here, but that's okay. I'll just reapply it after, right? Because I'm supposed to apply it later anyway. So you normally put your foundation on, and then you do your corrector and your concealer, and then you go ahead with your blusher and all of that. Yeah. Okay, so as you can tell, where you can see quite clearly now, so this eye, right, and then this eye that I've not done. Now I think the main difference that you can tell straight away is how it has sort of not just made the darkness less, but you can see that the under eye, like the bags under my eyes are so much more less visible as well. And this sort of helps brighten up the eye area, makes you look more fresh and awake, which we all need, and younger too, I hope. But yeah, all right, so now once you've sort of achieved enough coverage, like you're happy with it, you just go ahead and set with any loose translucent powder. Now you could also do baking. Baking of course is better, but if let's say I'm just going out for coffee, I don't really need like full-on makeup right now. I just want to look presentable. So I'm just going to apply a bit of loose translucent powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier, and I really like to also like normally bake under the eye area. So baking is where you just apply your loose powder under and leave it for about say 3-5 minutes while you do the rest of your face, and it sort of gives a very nice highlighted effect, which is beautiful, right? So try it. But today, just for the sake of this video and to speed things up a bit, I'm just gonna set it with, just set it like this, yeah? And when you're setting, make sure you're not doing this because that's actually removing product. You just want to sort of lightly tap in the product, and this is how you get your makeup to last the whole day, okay? All right, so this side is done. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye so that I don't look like a crazy person. I'm just gonna do this a bit more on fast speed. Concealing is just so important. It's just so key because, you know, even when you don't want to have too much makeup on your face, like, you know, you just want to look fresh and don't want to like walk around with bags under your eyes and darkness under your eyes. Like, concealing is the one thing that I think just helps with that. Like, you don't need foundation, you don't need much makeup at all. Like, I think if you just have concealer, the right corrector, the right concealer, and then maybe a bit of mascara. If you've got lashes, you don't even need mascara. A bit of lip gloss and you're good to go, you know. And that's how I like it. I don't really like putting on too much of makeup. Like, I am a makeup artist, but for me, like on a day-to-day basis, I honestly don't like having too much, like walking around with too much makeup on my face. Like, if I have a, you know, like a special night out, or if I'm going like for a party or whatever, then yeah, you know, like I like playing with makeup. But if I'm just, you know, day to day, I don't. And I actually don't even use foundation. I just get by using concealer, and honestly, like, that just is more than enough for me right now. Like, I don't have foundation on my skin right now. It's just concealer. And I'm also gonna tell you something, like, this is like a secret tip that is going to help you a lot. Now you gotta keep in mind that your under eye area is super delicate, right? And whenever you've got, you know, like areas like under the eye that are super delicate and the skin is thin, you want to make sure that you take care of that area pretty well, because these are the areas that end up getting wrinkles quite fast. They also can end up looking a bit dry if you don't take care of it well. So what I have been doing now, I know that there's so many under eye creams and moisturizers. I've not personally tried any one that I really like that I can safely recommend to you, but I have been doing quite a bit of research, and the one thing that a lot of people have said to have helped them is coconut oil. So I've been actually using coconut oil for the past 1 week. So what I do is, before I go to bed, I just take a bit, put it like all over my under eye area. Sometimes I like to go over my eye as well, because I'm just crazy like that. I think that it's gonna make my lashes grow long, but yeah, that's just me. And what I find is that, like, and then when you wake up the next day, you just, you know, use your normal facial cleanser and like wash your face, right? What I feel is that that's actually helped really hydrate my under eye, and what that's doing is that when I apply my product over like this area, I just feel like it goes on much more smooth, and also that it is not creasing as much, because I've been using this same technique for like years now, right? But with like these past few days, I've been realizing that the under eye area, like, it's not creasing as much as it normally does, or it doesn't crease as much because I make sure that I set it with powder, but it still does. But now it's doing it a lot less, and I think it's because of the coconut oil. So I think it's just giving it a very hydrated, and it's helping like keep the area hydrated, and that's making my products go in much more smoothly, and it's giving like a very nice flawless finish, which is amazing. So I have done my under eye, and this is how I normally do my under eye. You can try this, and I think it will definitely work for you. So just make sure that you put on corrector before your concealer, right? And then set it with powder, and I think you would definitely be able to solve your under eye issues and look a lot younger. Well, you don't need to look younger to be beautiful, trust me, but it helps, right? So and also the other thing that I wanted to let you guys know is I am a major like concealer freak, so I'm always looking out for the best concealer in the market, right? And because, like I said, I believe that concealers are the one product that you need in your makeup kit, because it makes such a big difference. You don't even need anything else, just a bit of concealer, and like it's good, like you're good, right? So I'm always in the search for the best concealer. So what I've come up with is this whole review program of the best concealers, or not even the best, but just pretty much any concealer I can get my hand on, and I'm going to do a weekly review of these concealers, like direct to you in front of the camera, just like this, where you can see exactly how each of the product is going to go on my skin, and we can sort of test out which is better than the other. And I'm going to explain this a bit more detailed when I actually do and start the whole review of the concealer series, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.